Hey,
Hello.
Jenny, can you hear me okay?
Hi, Greg. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Fantastic.
Excellent.
How are you?
I'm, I'm doing well, thanks.
Good. I think I'm ready.
All right. I am going to spotlight you. Let me just make sure I can do that, okay?
How's Murphy doing?
Oh, he's getting better.
Good.
I'll try and, we'll try and keep him quiet, but I also have my sound filtering turned on, so hopefully it'll take out most of his barks if he acts up.
Okay.
But I'll be on mute most of the time anyway. It's all about you. So
Until you're parroting me.
yes.
Can I tell you how that will go if you're going to be my volunteer?
Well, we have a couple of people joining right now, so we can see if Angela would be interested.
Cool. Okay. That'd be great.
All right. Here comes Angela.
I love how my shirt matches pink.
Yes. You have the perfect pink today.
I thought that would match. It's great.
Yeah. So are you, so I'm just looking at you and showing the upper part of, is that how you want to show what you're doing right now?
I can only see the logo pink and then you.
Oh, okay. So I'm actually gonna change you to the host.
Okay.
Or maybe I have to take off the screen share. Let me figure out how to do this.
Okay. Oh, Greg, I wanted to ask you if you could see me when you're done there. Just let me know. I want to just ask you something visually.
Okay. I'm just trying to get back to my screen so I can see what's going on here.
No worries.
There we go. Are you seeing a screen share right now?
I just see you and then the Life After Breast Cancer live virtual conference, like square with the pink up top and the white below.
Okay. There we go. Spotlight for everyone. There. Now can you see yourself?
Just in a small corner. Is that what you wanted, or am I supposed to see myself on full screen?
Well, you should be right now. You're spotlighted. So when everyone else is logging in, they're going to see your like your screen is going to be the major portion of the screen.
Okay. Is there any way I can see myself as the full screen, or is that?
You should be. I think you might just have to change your
on my end. My view.
Right. Change your view a little bit.
Standard. Oh my God.
Angela, thank you for joining this morning. We have a question for you. Would you be interested in volunteering with Jenny this morning?
Hey, Angela, hold on. I'm still trying to get my view. Oh my goodness.
Oh, her audio is still connecting.
Okay. How do I pin myself? Mute my audio. Oh my gosh. There's a way to pin yourself, isn't there? Maybe. Not that I have to see myself on the full screen, but it is easier when I can see. I don't know.
Right.
It's just a thing. I don't think I have the option to make myself full.
Stop.
Oh, there. Whatever you did.
There we go. There we are.
Don't touch anything. Greg, I hope you'll be participating and you have your yoga mat out. You better be. My question to you before I lose you, before you're gone.
Right.
So for the Pilates portion, I'll be down like this. Can you still see me? Can everyone see me?
Yep. You're perfect right now. So I can see, let's see, it's your right arm. So I can see right to the edge of the mat right now.
Okay.
To the right side of the mat. Right there. Now I can see everything up to the mat. So when you put your arm off the mat, I can't see it.
Okay.
So I don't know, you might be able to either tilt the camera down just a touch more.
Maybe when I get there, when I go to the Pilates.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's good. Okay, good to know.
All right. So Angela's still connecting. So CETA's here. CETA, would you be interested in being a volunteer with Jenny this morning?
All I need is your voice. I promise you won't have to do anything else. No cartwheels, no handstands.
All right, you're I don't know if you're talking, you're muted right now. So I'm going to click the ask to unmute. And if you can't do it, no problem at all.
And if no one volunteers, Greg, you'll be my.
I am in.
Thank you.
Oh, hi. Just give me like 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay. Would you be able to volunteer?
Should I open my camera?
If you'd like, but you don't have to. Do you just need her voice?
So for Angela and CETA, when we go through the tapping rounds, I'll be saying certain phrases, and then just someone has to repeat the phrase after I say it.
Okay.
Now, I'm not quite. Her sound is a little muffled on my end, Greg. I don't know about you.
Okay. Is my sound muffled?
Greg is perfect. So do you mind doing it just because I know
No, not at all. Yeah.
Yours is just clear. Like it's
okay.
Much better.
All right. So I will, when we get started, so I'll turn my video off and then just, I'll repeat after you. Just coach me through it.
I will let you know when we get there. So that'll be in like 12 minutes-ish.
Okay, perfect.
First to know, I promise.
All right, everything else looks good. I mean, the video looks great. Your sound is clear. So I think we're good to go. Got all your notes, you're ready?
Notes. You wouldn't believe my setup here. I got stuff everywhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm too old to try to memorize now. Like it's just
not. you and me both.
Yeah, right? Okay. So I think we have 1 minute.
Right.
So ladies who are here, if you're in a place to have a small towel, please go get that. That'll be for your head when we're lying down. If you don't have one, no worries. And a chair. I'm going to be seated on the floor this whole time, only because it's easier for filming purposes. But if you want a chair to sit at while we go through the talking and tapping portion, please go get one to get comfortable. Okay. Not everyone can be, seated on the floor cross-legged comfortably. So just get comfortable.
All right. Well, let me do a brief introduction, and then I'm admitting people as they're coming in. But maybe Jenny, you can give them a little bit more instruction on just do that again, instruction about what to have for this session today.
When it starts rolling, I will do that again.
Okay. So welcome everyone to the Better Than Ever Life After Breast Cancer, the virtual conference that's being hosted by the Cancer Exercise Training Institute. We're very excited to have you here today and want to introduce Jenny Goldberg. She is a cancer exercise specialist. She is a movement specialist with over 15 years of experience in health and fitness. She specializes in Pilates, cancer exercise, Hatha yoga, yoga for golfers, senior fitness, meditation, EFT, and breath training. And she's going to be working with you today on what I think we're all excited about, which is some energy work. And I'm really excited to see what she's going to be able to show us today. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you, Jenny. And I know you have some other instructions for people. And welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much, Greg. Hi, everybody. I am super excited to be here today. It's a serious honor to be asked to participate in this incredible conference. So thank you, Andrea and Greg, for the invitation. I am thrilled to be sharing with you two of my biggest passions, Pilates and EFT. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, and it's also known as tapping, and I will be referring to it as tapping throughout the rest of the session today. So here is how it's going to go for the next 55 minutes or so. We're going to start with 20-minute information session on tapping, what it is, its benefits, how to do it, and then we're actually going to go through a session together. Greg has graciously volunteered to be my volunteer to help me out with that. And after the tapping is done, we will move on to a gentle restorative Pilates class. So about 25 to 30 minutes, where we're going to learn actually how to connect our breath to our movements. So it's going to be nice and gentle. We'll be seated and then we'll be on our backs. Okay. And then at the end, we will close with another round, just a quick round of tapping. Greg, I won't need your help then. It's just going to be one round and I'll do it myself. Okay, so before we start, if you have a small hand towel for your head, when we get to the Pilates portion, just go get that. If you don't have one, no worries. Also, I'm going to be seated here on the floor for the next 20, 25 minutes. So if this isn't good for you, good for your hips or knees, go get a kitchen chair and just get comfortable. Okay, I think that's it. So here we go. So I'm going to time myself so I stay on track. So what the heck is tapping and what does it have to do with Pilates? Right? Yes, exercise is incredibly important for healing and recovery. But what is even more important, in my opinion, is the emotions that we are holding in our bodies, the energy that we are bringing into our exercise sessions. Being a Pilates instructor, I have witnessed how powerful movement is for healing and recovery, but I always felt like something was missing. Like I could be doing so much more for my clients. They would come in and I could sense their uncertainty. I could sense their fear, their sadness, just those heavy emotions that they were bringing in with them to our sessions. So I had to figure out a way that we could release those. We were moving our bodies. Yes, we were exercising and doing all that good stuff for recovery, but we were doing that with those heavy emotions as well. Okay, so I've been a fan of tapping, well, I don't know, so 10 years probably. So a little light bulb went off in my head and I thought, why not bring the powerful releasing benefits of tapping into my Pilates sessions? Let's learn how to release some of that emotional baggage before we move so we can move with more efficiency, effectiveness, and free. So effective, efficient, and free. That's what I want people to move, right? Just feeling like they can release some of that emotional weight and then get more benefit from their Pilates session. So what is tapping? So what is it? To put it simply, tapping is a safe, non-invasive way to change your nervous system. It is scientifically proven. There's actually over 350 peer-reviewed scientific research papers on the benefits. Tapping lowers your stress levels and it puts your nervous system into a parasympathetic state, right? This is also known as the relaxation response. When we can get our nervous systems to be in the parasympathetic state more often, we allow for a more optimal healing process to occur. So how does tapping work? Tapping works on different energetic meridian endpoints on the body. Meridians are a concept from ancient Chinese medicine. I'm sure you've all heard of acupuncture and acupressure. Those are healing therapies that deal with the meridians in the body. So today we're going to tap on 9 different meridian endpoints on our bodies. And we're going to do this while focusing. The focus of today, the focus of the tapping session is going to be on the trauma of being diagnosed. So when we tap on these meridian endpoints, what is happening is we are sending a calming signal to the amygdala in the brain, right? So the amygdala is part of the limbic system in our brains. It plays a key role in processing emotions and is where the fight, flight, and freeze response is located. So when we tap on these points while focusing on a specific problem or emotion, we send a signal to the amygdala that it is safe and that it can fully process and release those negative emotions. So there's a very scientific aspect to tapping. All right, so how can tapping benefit breast cancer recovery? There are so many ways, countless ways. Tapping is going to help you release depression, grief, guilt, despair, sadness, anger, frustration, chronic stress, weight gain, weight loss. But I think more importantly, tapping helps you to reframe your outlook to focus on the more positive things that are happening in your life. Dr. Jay Harness, his talk on Monday, the opening talk on Monday, he spoke about the emotional reconstruction that happens after breast cancer. And tapping is going to give you a real time, in the moment, easy to process, easy to do, what was the word? An easy process that you can take yourself through to reconstruct and reframe the negative emotions that you have around breast cancer. So any kind of negative emotion that we hold in our body is going to affect the quality of our life. There's an old saying that the issues are in the tissues, right? When we hold our issues in our tissues, pain, all these bad things are going to happen. We need to learn how to release the negativity. And tapping is going to help you acknowledge and release the issues. Okay, so for tapping, let's get to what it is and how we're going to do it. I'm going to show you the points right now. All right, so Greg, just watch me. I don't need you yet, but just watch. So okay. The first tapping point is the karate chop point, everybody. So just take your right hand, doesn't matter which hand. I'm going to take my fingers and I'm tapping here. So this is a karate chop point, okay? The next point on the body is the eyebrow point. So it's right at the edge of the eyebrow, bridge of the nose, eyebrow, right in here. Okay, and then I just use my middle finger to do that. Okay, when we're on these points, you just tap as many times as you want. Medium pressure, it's not hard, it's not too light, but you know you're tapping on your body. The next point is side of the eye. So not your temple, obviously not your eyeball, but that little bone, the little delicate bone right here beside the eye. Okay, next point, you just slide your fingers down on the bone right under your eye. Okay, another bone right here, very delicate, so go a little bit more gentle here. Okay, so you want to feel the bone beneath your eyeball. Okay, next point, under the nose. So right below the nose, right above the lip, right in between. Okay, just tapping like that. The next tapping point is under the mouth. So you have this little crease in your chin, right on that point. Okay. Next point is the collarbone point. So on your collarbone, everybody, these two knobby bones right here. I just take 8 fingers and tap right below those bones. Okay, that's called the collarbone point. Next one is the underarm. So I just sort of take my flat palm. So ladies, this is where your bra line would be. Guys, just below the armpit. So right here. Okay, and the final point is the top of the head. And I just put my fingers like this. And then I just tap on the top. So just somewhere right in the middle. Okay, so there is a reason for all of these end points, but we don't have enough time for that today. So just trust me on that. You can actually look up tapping point meanings. There's tons of literature on the internet about it if you're curious of why these have been picked. Okay, so our focus today is the trauma of diagnosis. So if you've been diagnosed, or if you know someone who's been diagnosed, or just maybe imagine how you would feel if the doctor told you today that you have cancer. So I want you to rate the intensity of being diagnosed Okay, the emotional intensity of being diagnosed on a scale from 0 to 10. So just pick your number. 0 being, just nothing, you're neutral. 10 being absolute opposite of that. So find a number from 0 to 10 and just pick it in your head. Okay, so we're going to go through the tapping round and then we'll rate the intensity again at the end. So the goal of tapping is to lower the intensity of an emotion. Okay, if you don't lower your intensity, no worries. Sometimes the intensity can go up, which usually means that you're bringing to surface something that needs a little bit more of your attention, and you would just tap more on that. So tapping sessions can last 1 minute. Tapping can last up to an hour. Okay, so it really depends what you're working on. That's the beauty of it, is it can be applied to everything in your life, good or bad. Okay, so Greg, this is where I need your beautiful talent.
Excellent. I'm ready.
Okay, so everybody, we are going to start on the karate chop point. So just start tapping. Greg, I'm going to say a phrase, and then you'll hear me pause, and then you're just going to repeat after me, okay?
Gotcha.
Okay, so this is called our setup phrases, everybody. We have 3 of them. So we're going to stay on the karate chop point. So just watch me when I go to different points, okay? So setup point. Even though I was traumatized when the doctor gave me the diagnosis.
Even though I was traumatized when the doctor gave me the diagnosis,
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I completely love and accept myself.
Even though I was traumatized when the doctor gave me the scary diagnosis.
Even though I was traumatized when the doctor gave me the scary diagnosis.
And I think the fear is still in my body.
And I think the fear is still in my body.
I deeply and completely love and accept who I am.
I deeply and completely love and accept who I am.
Even though I feel paralyzed with fear about the future.
Even though I feel paralyzed with fear about the future.
After I was given my diagnosis.
After I was given my diagnosis.
I choose to feel calm and peaceful about my situation.
I choose to feel calm and peaceful about my situation.
Okay, so now we're moving to the eyebrow point, everyone. So just move here. Okay. I'm still traumatized by the diagnosis.
I am still traumatized by the diagnosis.
My head was spinning.
My head was spinning.
Under the eye, everyone, sorry. I am so stressed about the diagnosis.
I am so stressed about the diagnosis.
Under nose. I'm afraid of what could happen.
I am afraid of what can happen.
Under the mouth. This is scary.
This is scary.
I didn't realize I'd been hurt by that.
I didn't realize I'd been hurt by that.
It was so scary when I heard it.
It was so scary when I heard it.
It feels good to validate how I feel.
It feels good to validate how I feel.
So everyone just follow me through the points. I'm afraid of my future.
I'm afraid of my future.
What if I get worse?
What if I get worse?
I'm afraid of all the unknowns.
I'm afraid of all the unknowns.
I'm afraid of the pain.
I'm afraid of the pain.
I'm afraid of the symptoms.
I'm afraid of the symptoms.
My doctor said it might get worse.
My doctor said it might get worse.
I have all of this fear in my body.
I have all this fear in my body.
And I want to let it go.
And I want to let it go.
Okay, back to eyebrow. I'm so angry.
I'm so angry.
How could this happen to me?
How could this happen to me?
Why me?
Why me?
What could I have done differently?
What could I have done differently?
All the what ifs.
All the what ifs.
They are always running through my mind.
They're always running through my mind.
I wish I could wake up a different person.
I wish I could wake up a different person.
Why me?
Why me?
Okay, back to eyebrow. I choose to accept my diagnosis now.
I choose to accept my diagnosis now.
I am open to being curious about it.
I'm open to being curious about it.
I allow it to be without judging it as good or bad.
I allow it to be without judging it as good or bad.
Maybe something good can come from this.
Maybe something good can come from this.
Maybe it is trying to tell me something.
Maybe it is trying to tell me something.
I am open to accepting any feelings I have about my diagnosis.
I am open to accepting any feelings I have about my diagnosis.
I allow myself to accept all my feelings.
I allow myself to accept all my feelings.
I allow myself to be with my diagnosis without feeling like I need to run away.
I allow myself to accept my diagnosis without feeling like I need to run away.
Okay, last round, eyebrow everybody. My body is a miraculous thing.
My body is a miraculous thing.
It wants to heal and feel at peace.
It wants to heal and feel at peace.
I accept my body for how it is now.
I accept my body for how it is now.
I appreciate all the things it does for me, no matter how small.
I appreciate all the things it does for me, no matter how small.
I'm ready to release negative feelings about my diagnosis.
I'm ready to release negative feelings about my diagnosis.
I'm releasing all the anger I have inside.
I'm releasing all the anger I have inside.
I give myself permission to let go of all the negativity.
I give myself permission to let go of all the negativity.
Okay? Feeling peaceful, calm, and relaxed as I go on with my day.
I'm feeling peaceful, calm, and relaxed as I go on with my day.
Okay, everyone take a deep breath. Okay, and then you go back and rate your intensity, and you would see, hopefully, it would come down a little bit. So it's really about bringing to surface what is actually happening in the body. How are you actually feeling? And how can you release that? How can you bring to surface how you really want to feel? So it's really about acknowledging the issue. So hopefully that was informative for some people who've never done it before or never heard about it. Thank you, Greg, for helping. So
My
really,
pleasure.
there was endless tapping scripts about everything on the planet. So hopefully you all enjoyed that. Okay, so for fun now, for Pilates. So we have, all right, 15 minutes. So do I have it till about 12:50, Greg? Is that what we're working with here?
Yes, you can, and if you want to go a little bit longer, that's fine too.
Okay, all right, everybody. So I'm seated on the floor, but you can stay in a chair if you're in a chair, no worries. So we're gonna talk about Pilates breathing, okay? Before we do that though, I want you to, because I love my tapping, I want you to just tap up and down your left arm, up to your shoulder, tap all the way back down, flip your arm over, go up the other side, okay? On the way to the back if you can, all the way down the arm, down the side, onto the stomach, up the chest, okay? What we're doing right now is sort of waking up the nervous system. This is actually something I learned from Eric Franklin method. So it's really about waking up, letting your body know that it's about to move. Okay, a lot of things can kind of go sleepy. So this is a good way just to kind of rev the metabolism and circulation. You're sort of just saying, hey, body, wake up. We're going to do something now. Okay, down the thighs. Okay, take a deep breath and relax. You might even notice your heart rate's up a little bit. Okay, I feel a little bit more awake now. So let's talk about our breath. I find the breath is one of the areas that a lot of people have issues with, cancer or no cancer. It's something that we've kind of unlearned how to do. A lot of us breathe incorrectly just from daily life. Stress is huge. Stress really restricts the movement of the rib cage, and we really need those ribs to move when we breathe to actually facilitate the diaphragm dropping a little bit lower to get more air. So we're going to do a 4-part kind of relearning how to breathe session right now. So let's just talk about the Pilates breath. So just take your hands to your knees. I want you to take an inhale through the nose. I want you to exhale through the mouth, purse your lips like you're blowing through a straw. And everything's going to come in. We'll just do that a few more times. So this is part 1. Inhaling through the nose. Pause at the top for a second. Exhale through the mouth like you're blowing through a straw. We'll do that one more time. Inhale through the nose. Pause for a little second, and then exhale through the mouth. Okay, so that's the first part. Second part, we'll do the same breath again. I want you to inhale through the nose. As you exhale through the mouth like we just did, I want you to visualize your abdominals going in and almost up the spine. Okay, so just adding on a little bit to the breath. So inhale again through the nose. As you exhale through the mouth, like you're blowing through a straw, feel the abdominals coming in and almost like you're trying to lift them up and back. Okay, do that 2 more times. Exhale, in and up. Okay, 1 more. Take your inhale. Exhale. Visualize the abdominals drawing back and then gently lifting up. Okay, next part. So there's a lot to breathing. So there's a lot to remember. So I think that's why a lot of us do it improperly, because we just can't remember all of these things. The next one is the relationship between the diaphragm and the pelvic floor. Okay, so the pelvic floor in your mind, because it's kind of a hard area to really, visualize, I want you to visualize a diamond, okay, on the bottom of your pelvis. So the diamond, everyone picture a diamond in their head. The front of the diamond is pubic bone, back of the diamond is your tailbone, and on either side is your sit bones, okay, those hard bones that you feel when you're sitting on the floor or on a chair. As we inhale again, so the diaphragm is this breathing muscle right here under the ribs. When you inhale, the diaphragm goes down, right, to create space for air in the lungs, and the pelvic floor also goes down. It should, okay, but a lot of dysfunctional breathing can happen when the pelvic floor gets stuck and doesn't release downwards. So we're going to do the inhale and exhale like we just did, still thinking of the navel and abdominals drawing in and up. But now I want you to hold your hands like this in front of you. Sometimes I find this helps, the visual of seeing your hands move can help your body connect to what's supposed to happen as you breathe. So everyone take your inhale, hands move down. As you exhale, they come back up. So this is your diaphragm, this is your pelvic floor. Inhale and exhale. Okay, let's just do that 2 more times. Inhale, everything lowers gently. Exhale, everything gently moves back up. Actually, let's do that once more. Take an inhale, lower the diaphragm, lower the pelvic floor, and exhale back up. Okay, the final thing we're going to add to this is rib cage. So now I want you to take your hands and place them just on the bottom of the ribs here. So I have my fingertips wrapped around the front, my thumbs are around the back. All the same things that we just learned we're applying here. So you take your slow inhale through the nose, diaphragm lowers, pelvic floor relaxes, and now I want you to focus on the ribs moving side to side. As you exhale, gently lift the pelvic floor. Abdominals gently draw in. You can feel your ribs relaxing back to the starting position. And then you release all of the air out. Okay, can we do that? Let's do that 4 more times. Okay, so keep your hands here. I find it's really helpful, tactile on the body, so you can actually feel what's supposed to be happening. So take your inhale. Feel the ribs moving side to side. Pause for a second. Now, the first thing I want you to think about is the pelvic floor gently lifting away from the chair or floor as you start your exhale. Navel gently comes in, ribs gently come back together. Okay, so basically this whole cylinder here of the torso, we want something should be happening at every point here. Okay, so let's do that 3 more times. So inhale gently through the nose. Ribs expand. Pause for a second at the top. Now the first thing to happen, gently lift the pelvic floor away from the ground. Ribs draw in, trying to get all the trying to get all the air out on the exhale. Okay, 2 more times. Inhale. Feel that expansion. Exhale. Feel the contraction in. Okay, and one more time. Pause and exhale. Great. Okay, so hopefully you felt something there. One of the biggest things I see when I teach people is they lack the rib cage movement, which really, it creates shallow breath. And when we don't get enough oxygen, when our breath is shallow, we simply can't thrive. Our bodies don't thrive when they're deprived of oxygen. So really learning how to open up the rib cage to feel the ribs moving when you breathe is key to increasing all the oxygen throughout the body, which in turn really does help improve everything else in your life. Okay. So next, let's just add a little bit of side movement. Okay, so I'm just going to, if you're sitting in a chair, you can just keep a hand on a thigh, but I'm going to put my left hand down on the floor. I'll have my arm overhead, but if you can't do that for shoulder issues, just take your hand to your ear. Okay, so from here, we're going to inhale to sit up tall. I want you to think of the top of the head reaching to the ceiling as you inhale up. Slowly just bend to the left, exhale. Feel the abdominals drawing in. Pause there when you feel that little gentle stretch down the side body. So I'm leaning to the left and I'm thinking of my right sit bone, my right glute staying heavy towards the floor. Here as you inhale, I want you to think of those ribs expanding to the right, expanding out like an accordion. So inhale into the right ribs, almost like you're inhaling into your armpit, and then use your exhale, abdominals draw in to come back up. So when you come back up, upright, I want you to think that your abdominals are the ones that are driving that. They're the ones bringing you back up. Okay, so do that 2 more times and then we'll go to the other side. So inhale, tall spine first. Exhale, just take that tall spine over to the left gently, not too far. Pause for a second. Inhale into the right rib cage, right armpit, almost like you're blowing up a balloon in here. And now use your exhale, abdominals draw in to come back up. Tall. Okay, one more time. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, gentle bend. Okay, blow up your balloon in your ribs. And then use your abdominals to bring you back. Okay, good. We'll go to the other side. So my right hand's down, left hand up, either up or behind your ear. I'm going to keep it here so I can see it in the camera. Okay, inhale, tall spine. Exhale, gentle bend to the right. So pause here for a second. Feel your left glute sit bone now getting heavy. Anchor that down. Sometimes the tendency is for us to take the hips with us. Keep the left hip heavy. Now I want you to inhale to the left ribs. Blow up the balloon in the left rib cage. Blow up your left armpit. Then use your exhale. Gently draw the abdominals in as you come back up. Okay, 2 more times. Inhale, tall spine first. Exhale, up and over. Pause. Inhale into the ribs. Exhale, back up. You might feel one side is much tighter than the other. I feel on my left side here, it's a little bit harder. I feel more restricted in this side, getting the air in there. Okay, one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, up and over. Okay, inhale. Almost like you're trying to find your inhale into the back ribs if you can. And exhale up. Okay, good. So just roll the shoulders a little bit. If you need to switch the cross of your legs, you can. Okay, so now let's add some arm movements. So you're going to keep hearing me say inhale and exhale. You're just going to have to deal with that for this class. I find when I'm teaching, a lot of people hold their breath for a lot of movements. So I think there's a real disconnect of moving our limbs and our body with the breath. I really want to bring the focus to moving with the breath. So take the arms out front on an inhale. So inhale, reach towards your camera. And on your exhale, gently slide your shoulder blades towards each other behind you. Okay, I'll turn to the side so you can see better. So sitting up tall. Inhale, shoulder blades. I want you to think of them wrapping around the rib cage to the front. So you're inhaling. Pause. And now exhale, wrap them back towards the spine. Okay, a few more times. Let's just do 3 more. So inhale, reach. Good. Exhale, contract. Inhale, shoulder blades glide around to the front. Imagine how your shoulder blades would move on your ribs if you just soaked them with dish soap. Okay, so really think of them gliding around. I see a lot of shoulder dysfunction because we've forgotten that the shoulder blades should actually move around the ribs. Okay, so let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach, and exhale, back. Okay, so you'll see that my torso and my lower body aren't part of this. It's just really trying to isolate the shoulder joint and back. Okay, so that's called protraction, retraction. So now let's do abduction, adduction with our breath. So take your arms out to the side. We're going to inhale, reach the arms out. As you do that, I'm going to sit closer so you can see. As you inhale, I want you to sort of rotate the palms back. And I want you to think of the rotation coming from the shoulder joint, not just the wrist and elbow, but actually from here. Okay, so we're going to take our inhale out. And then use your exhale, all the same principles I taught you at the beginning. Exhale, abdominals draw in to bring the elbows in. And as you bring the elbows into the ribs, squeeze the shoulder blades gently behind you. So inhale, rotate, exhale, squeeze. Okay, inhale to rotate, and exhale to squeeze. So we're not using any weights or anything like that, but you can feel when you put a little bit more intention behind what you're doing and connect to the breath, your arms can start to feel really heavy. Okay, inhale, rotate, exhale, contract. Let's one more. I'm horrible at remembering how many I've done. So when I say 5, sometimes I mean 20. Inhale, open, rotate, and exhale, contract. Good, and we'll just finish off here with a few circles, arm circles. Okay, so arms are out to the side as high, about shoulder level. If that's too much, lower is fine. Okay, so we're going to inhale for a count of 5 as you circle forward. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So keep that going. I want you to reach your fingertips like you're trying to touch either side of your room. Feel, so none of this with the arms. Reach. Okay, like you really are trying to touch, and feel how much more engagement we have with the whole arm now. Okay, a few more times, and now let's switch directions. So behind, so it's an inhale for count of 5, and then exhale for count of 5. Okay, inhale for 5, and exhale for 5. Okay, one more time. And good. So you'll feel, I feel heat in the shoulders. So no weights, right? The arms are heavy enough. We can do a lot of things with nothing. Our body is a wonderful prop. Okay, so let's come onto our backs, everybody. So get your towel if you have it for your head. Greg, you'll tell me if I'm still in proper view here. So coming onto your back. Is this okay, everybody?
Yep, looks great.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I have a towel under my head, and the reason for that is proper cervical alignment. Cervical means the neck. Sometimes when people don't have a pillow, you'll see that their chin really juts up to the ceiling, and that's putting a lot of pressure on the neck. So when you put a towel here, it really allows the chin to drop and lengthens the back of the neck. If you don't have a towel, I just recommend think of lengthening the back of the neck as you drop your chin towards the chest, okay? All right, so here we are. So when we're on our back, let's think of proper alignment. This is called supine position. So lying down, I want you to take your hands like this, a triangle. I want you to place your hands on the front of your pelvis. Okay, before we talk about anything else, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to feel your body get heavy towards the floor. Okay, so take your focus to the back of your head, the middle of your back between your shoulder blades, and the sacrum. So right down here where your tailbone is. I want you to think of those 3 points being really heavy towards the floor. Okay, so now we have the triangle on the front of the pelvis. My fingertips are on pubic bone, and the palms of my hands are on my hip bones. We ideally in Pilates want a neutral pelvis. So neutral means when the pubic bone and hip bones are on the same plane. So my triangle is flat. Okay, so let's play with different positions of the pelvis with our breath. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to tip the pelvis backwards. So think of your pubic bone getting higher than your hip bones. So you're going to feel your lower back lengthen towards the floor. So that's on your exhale. Okay, so we feel a little bit of abdominal work happening to make that happen. Now inhale back to neutral. Okay, and then you'll feel that your lumbar spine, that natural curve of the lumbar spine comes back into play. Take your inhale at the top. And now exhale, lengthen the lower back towards the floor, pubic bone higher than the hip bones. So that's going towards the ceiling now. Okay, rock back to neutral. 2 more times, exhale. Think of the lowest ribs and hip bones sliding towards each other. Okay, navel dropping inward. Okay, inhale back to neutral. 1 more time, exhale, hip bones and lower ribs trying to come together as my abdominals drop in. Good, everyone stay, this is called a posterior tilt. Stay in this position, okay, where your lower back, lumbar spine is more towards the floor. Okay, when someone's just starting out with Pilates, this is a great place to be because it preps the abdominals. They're already in a more contracted position. Okay, so from here, everyone take an inhale. And now exhale, bring your right leg to tabletop. So tabletop is this, where the knee is over the hip and the lower leg is parallel to the floor. Keep your hands on the front of your pelvis in your triangle. Okay, now inhale, bring that leg back down. Okay, we'll go to the left side. Exhale, bring your left leg to tabletop. What I want you to feel in your hips is nothing is changing. Your triangle is not moving. It's not wobbling. It's staying in the same position. So what we're doing here is learning how to dissociate our femur, our thigh movement from our hip. Okay, a lot of hip issues, lower body issues can start to happen when we move these two as one unit, but they're very separate. Okay, so if you can focus on keeping the pelvis still and stable while moving the femur, you're learning how to move these two parts separately, and you're learning how to move them with your breath. Okay, let's do a couple more on each side. So take your inhale. As you exhale, right leg tabletop, the hip bones are staying in the same position. One isn't sinking or going higher, and it's not going back and forth. Okay, and then 1 more time on the left. And exhale. Okay, and then bring your leg down. So you can take your hands to the floor now. All right, so now let's take the right leg to tabletop again. We're going to challenge our core a little bit here. Okay, actually, no, I take that back. I want your hands still on the front of your pelvis triangle. This is called bent knee opener. Okay, this is going to challenge your core a little bit more. So I want you to inhale, drop your thigh, your leg out to the side. Pause for a second, feel the abdominals working to hold the weight of the leg, and now exhale, bring it back to center. I want you to think of the exhale bringing your leg back in. Okay, so inhale, pelvis is staying still, neutral, hip bones are up to the sky. Exhale, think of the inner thigh, abdominals, bringing it back in. Okay, just 1 more time. Inhale out to the side. And exhale, back. Okay, and then put the leg down. We'll go to the left leg tabletop. So we're really trying, why I have your hands here, I really want you to start noticing what happens in the hip when your leg starts to move. Okay, ideally the hips, nothing happens in the hips when the femur is now moving laterally in the body. Okay, and if you feel like your hips are being pulled with you, that's good. That's an awareness that you may need to work on learning how to separate the two parts of your body. Okay, so inhale, left leg drops out. Exhale, think of your inner left thigh and abdominals being the ones bringing you back in. Okay, 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more time. And exhale. And you'll notice just the weight of your leg, how much more of a challenge that is, right? Okay, let's add 2 moves together. Actually, before we do that, let's just do a few arm movements to get our arms involved here. So arms are straight up to the ceiling. Again, I want you, so we did this seated on the ground, about thinking of our shoulder blades moving away from the spine and towards the spine. So we're doing the same thing, but now we're just lying down. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades, you want to have that lifting sensation away from the mat. Exhale, gently squeeze the shoulder blades back towards each other. So it's not going to be a big movement. So really, sometimes I just find, for me, I close my eyes and visualize my skeleton. Like, what do my shoulder blades actually look like right now? Okay, so instead of thinking of how the muscles are moving, think of how the bones are moving. I find that sometimes very helpful. Okay, so inhale, lift, reach. Exhale, gently squeeze. Okay, you might notice that one side has an easier time or moves more freely than the other. Again, it's just great to be aware of how your body works. And squeeze one more time. And down. So now let's do some T arms. So just inhale out to the side and just hover the arms. Hover them like an inch or two off the ground. They're not touching the ground. Feel all the muscles that have to work to hold the arms here. Okay, and then use your exhale to close back in. So inhale, think of your body opening up. Pause, just hovering above the ground. Feel your muscles actually start to shake. Mine are shaking. And then exhale brings everything back. One more time. Inhale, open. And you might feel one side of your chest is tighter than the other. Again, just being aware. And then exhale. Good. So keep your right arm up. Bring your left leg to tabletop. We're going to combine two moves now. Okay, just add a little bit more of a core challenge. Okay, so my left leg's tabletop, right arm up to the sky. Inhale, the left toe goes towards the floor, right arm overhead. And again, just take this right arm as low as it's comfortable for you. And then use your exhale. Think of this diagonal line from the right shoulder to left hip, bringing them back to center. Okay, so inhale, lower. And sometimes, everybody, I take my left hand to my right rib cage. I want my ribs to stay low. So a tendency, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. A tendency when I see people take their arm overhead, their ribs do this. They flare up. Okay, so how to know how far to take your arm? You take your arm as far as you can keep your rib cage in line with your right hip. Okay, that's a good gauge for how far you should actually take that shoulder overhead. Okay, let's just do a couple more and we'll switch sides. Inhale up, and then it's the exhale, diagonal line of the abdominals that bring them back. Okay, one more time. Okay, I used to be a huge rib flarer for all my upper body movements because it was the ribs flare when they're trying to make up for the lack of range in the shoulder joint. So it's just good to be aware of what's happening here when your shoulder starts to move. Okay, so if you lack some range, these are going to go up to help you get there. Okay, so again, it's only taking your body as far as, listen to your ribs. What are your ribs telling you? That's a big thing. Okay, so switch sides, right leg, left arm. Okay, so inhale up and over. And again, whenever you get to your end range, pause for a second and feel the work that's happening from the left from the left shoulder to the right hip. Feel the diagonal abdominals here. It's pretty amazing how much is working to hold your limbs. Okay, and then exhale back to center. Just two more, we'll move on. Inhale to lower. Okay, check that left rib cage now. Is it thrusting up to the ceiling or is it in line with your left hip? Okay, one more. And exhale. Okay, and good. So now we'll just do, what time do I have? Is it, sorry. Okay, a couple more minutes. Let's just do, let's do a straight leg. We're gonna work the abdominals in this position. So straighten your right leg. Left foot's on the floor, left knee is up to the ceiling. Again, triangle on the front of the pelvis. Okay. So what we're doing, actually you can keep your pillow behind your head. So what we're doing is we're trying to think of the lowest abdominals. So let's say the abdominals below the belly button. So really, really deep here. This is the one we sometimes really get disconnected from, especially if you're a woman who's had a baby or you've had any abdominal surgeries with breast cancer. This area can kind of we can lose touch with this area pretty easily. Okay, so we're just going to take an inhale to prepare. On your exhale, you're just gonna lift the leg off the floor a few inches, thinking of your lowest abdominals having to do that lift for you. Pause at the top for an inhale, and then exhale to lower. Okay, your leg lift does not have to be very high. Okay, let's do that 2 more times and then we'll switch. Take your inhale. As you exhale, everybody, I want you to feel the abdominals that are below your fingertips dropping away from your fingertips, not pressing up into them. So really think as your leg comes up, the lowest abdominals are dropping down. Okay, inhale at the top, exhale to lower. 1 more time. So again, hands on the pelvis can tell us a lot of things about our bodies. That's why I like to have people keep their hands here. 1 more, inhale, exhale. The abdominals are moving away from my fingertips. Okay, pause for your inhale at the top and exhale to lower. Okay, switch sides. Left leg lowers, we'll just do 3 on this side. Okay, right leg, right foot on the floor, right knee up, triangle on the pelvis. Take your inhale and exhale. And I really like to get people to notice what's happening from left to right. Because sometimes we can feel like we have 2 different bodies, right? So I think it's really good. I do a lot of unilateral work when I work with people because there's always one side that's going to take over from the other. Okay, so 2 more. Take your inhale. Exhale. Can you move your abdominals away from your hands? Okay, there is a tendency for people to bear down and push the abdominals up when doing abdominal work. So you really want to start to train yourself that the abdominals drop in when we do our exhale. They don't push out. Okay, 1 more time. And exhale. Okay, good. Inhale. And drop. Okay, and we'll just finish here. We're going to do just some articulating bridges just to get some movement through the spine. So if you have a pillow under your head, please take it out. Okay, we don't want our head to be lifted when we go up into a bridge just for the safety of our neck. So you have your feet hip distance apart. So I look down, I want my heels in line with my sit bones. Okay, arms can be down, palms flat on the mat. So we're going to do that. So everyone take an inhale with me. We're do that posterior tilt. So tuck the tail, lengthen the lower back towards the floor. But from here, push into the heels and keep going up the spine until you get up into this bridge position. Okay, if you're all there, stay with me for a second. Take your attention to your feet. I want you to press through your big toe, your little toe in the middle of your heel. So think of a tripod on the bottom of your foot. Hands to your pelvis again, everyone. Okay. Hip bones are in line with each other. You're reaching your knees towards your feet. Take your hands to your ribs. Your lowest ribs are in line with the hips. They're not above the hips, okay? In line with the hips. Top to the top of your inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to think of the vertebra between your shoulder blades dropping down first. So we're just tapping each vertebra down as much as we can, 1 vertebra at a time as we roll down the spine and then rock back to our neutral position. So we'll just do that 2 more times. Take your inhale. Exhale, tuck your tail, rolling back, lengthen the lower back. When you can't go anymore, start to press into the heels. It's like you're peeling your spine off of the mat. Okay, when you get to the point, I always say stop when your ribs are in line with your hips. That is high enough. Okay, so ribs in line with hips. Think of lengthening through the front of the thighs. Your kneecaps are reaching towards the wall in front of you. You're pressing through your big toe, little toe, middle of the heel. Glutes are squeezing up to the ceiling. Inhale into the ribs. And then exhale, start to slowly roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Good, and we'll do that 1 more time. This will be our last move. Take your inhale. So I really like to break this move down. Exhale. The first thing that happens is you rock your pelvis back first. When you can't rock back anymore, then you start to press into the heels. Okay, think of the weight shifting this way. Okay, the weight shifting towards the feet. So I don't want you to think of your weight going towards your head. Your weight is going that way. Okay, everyone pause at the top. I didn't say this at the beginning, but when you're at the top of your bridge, you should be able to lift your head off the floor because there's no weight in the head and neck. Okay, so if you feel like you can't lift your head off the floor because all your weight is there, I want you to think of shifting it that way. Okay, so do your check. Are my ribs in line with my hips? Okay, are my knees reaching towards my toes? Am I pressing through big toe, little toe, middle of the heel? Inhale into my ribs, think of them going sideways. And then exhale, start to slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. Okay, lower back taps down, and then you just rock the pelvis back to the starting position. Okay, everyone just take your knees into your chest for a little stretch. Okay, and then we have, that's it for the movement part. Now we have one more round of tapping before we end. So we're gonna come back up. You can find your chair if you'd like. Okay, good. Hopefully you all enjoyed that and learned something. So let's do our closing round of tapping. So it's really kind of just to seal in all the good that we've done today, acknowledge ourselves. So everyone on the karate chop point, let's have a focus be of gratitude for today, because I think we don't take enough time to feel grateful for the bodies that we have right now. We always want it to be different. It should be better. It should be skinnier. Like we always have these things. I think it's important to say right now, right here, my body is perfect. Okay. So gratitude for our bodies, and gratitude for sometimes with the pain that our bodies show us, right? Listening to the pain, listening to our bodies, just taking more time to listen to ourselves is critical with any sort of recovery. So karate chop, everybody. Here we go. In this moment, I choose to slow down, relax, and be present. Okay, so I'll pause and you can repeat after me, even in your mind or out loud, everyone. Okay, I gently let go of any stress, worry, and distractions. I open myself up to this feeling of gratitude. I choose to settle into gratitude now. Okay, eyebrow, everyone. Feeling gratitude in my body now. Side of the eye. Life doesn't have to be perfect to be amazing. Under the eye. Right here, right now, there is so much to be grateful for. Okay, under the nose. I welcome this opportunity to slow down and pause. Okay, under the mouth. Feeling all this gratitude in my body now. Okay, collarbone. I choose to thank my body now. Okay, under the arm. Feeling gratitude in every cell of my body. Okay, last point, top of the head. I choose to feel happy now. Okay, take a deep breath in and relax. And thank you. Awesome job, everybody. I couldn't see you, but I assume you all did it perfectly. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Jenny. That was an amazing session. I learned a lot.
Good.
And anyone, if you have any questions, we have a few more minutes until we have to leave. So ask away if you have any questions while we have Jenny here. Thank you so much, Jenny.
I heard Murphy. He's got a question.
Yes, he does.
Thank you, Murphy. Well, thank you so much, Greg. That was really fun. So, great.
Yeah, that was great. Wonderful session today. I'll send you the recording, and we look forward to the next one tomorrow.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, thank you.
All right, take care. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.